Hello, guys. Oh dear. Hi. I'm just gonna check today. Oh yeah, it seems like you can hear me. We are live, I think, but my streaming software that we use, the OBS, seems to be completely disconnected from Twitch. At the same time, we are live, so if I miss any notifications or anything today, it seems like the software has gone back to a stage it was in before updates and such, so it looks completely different for me, and I don't seem to be able to really follow up on what is going on. It's disconnected in some way, but we'll see what happens. We're here, right? Hi, Fabrab. How are you doing today? So guys, as you might tell, I'm a little bit feverish today. It's gonna be a very chill and beautiful stream. Gonna have some afternoon coffee. Nice to see you too, friends. Some afternoon coffee and simply be here enjoying our time together. We are gonna do the ponds today, I believe. This beautiful meditation that we talked about so much before. We're gonna do that today, and then we're simply gonna enjoy our time. Some very chill, beautiful energy readings, and just being here. Can you hear me all right? It's everything. I'm so confused since everything seems to be completely disconnected, and still it seems to be connected. So, like I said, if I miss any notifications, I do apologize. We'll see what happens. Oh, good. How are you today, Fabra? Thank you for the beautiful time we had last time. Was it last week? I seem to remember. I had my very last, hopefully, my very last driving lesson today. And tomorrow is the theoretical test. And then on Monday, I'm gonna do the driving test. The practical one. So it's gonna be interesting. But I've got such a fever. I'm so feverish. As you probably can tell. I'm sorry. But I'm here, so I thought let's just hang out together. I just love being here with you guys. And since I'm in the office, let's be here together, right? So how are you doing? Tell me about your day. Tell me how's it been. Talk to me today. I feel like just being here. And then, like I said, sometime later or someday time today, we'll do the ponds. You had a nice day. Beautiful to hear, Fabra. I see your thoughts are a little bit like busy bees, but calm. It's like you're building this new foundation for yourself, with the bees, with your thoughts being the busy bees, collecting all the material and then still having this plan figured out, so it feels like they know what they're doing. I just got that feeling, the calm dizziness. Does that make any sense? It's a beautiful picture for me in how it's hectic in what we do and what we are to do, but we know how to do it, and therefore it feels that we can really enjoy also the hectic parts, if you know what I mean. Oh, I love that feeling, and I love that. Just that picture, the buzzy bees in the calm air of knowing. Beautiful. I would like to paint that picture actually. Like make it into an actual drawing also. Beautiful. mm. Talking about busy bees, we have just yesterday, it was confirmed that now we will have our plumbing fixed that we talked about before. Our tractor, that was the very first. Oh no, it wasn't. The car was the first piece of the puzzle, right? And that's fixed. And then the tractor was the next piece, and that still is not working. And I don't know if you heard me, but I said yesterday I talked about, or not yesterday, sorry, last week. I mean, I talked about how we almost got blown up by a lit canister or a canister of light due to the tractor. So that we've jumped some. We've taken a different path. And we're jumping directly into getting the plumbing fixed, and that will be done. So I'm so grateful. But we found just when we are to get this fixed, we found a hole in our roof, and not a hole going straight through. It's simply, you know, one of what's it called? Oh, I'm so feverish. I can't find the words today. But like the pans going over the roof. It's just one of them being cut off and missing parts. And so we have to get up on the roof when the two of us home sometime in the near future and try to just fix that. What we need to be the two of us. So, and when I was looking at that with asking Bemper's grandfather, who helps us out a lot. It was also him helping with the badger situation and him also teaching me how to drive and all of this. And he came over to look at what was the best approach fixing the roof. And when we were stood there looking at this, I realized, why is the mold on the outside of our house? And it turns out, since we had our bathroom fixed, and actually the entire section of the wall rebuilt 2 years back, and also that part of the roof, the water drain, sorry, what's it called? I can't find a word today. Anyway, it's been dripping the wrong way, so it's collected all of the rainwater going towards the house instead of out from the house. So it's been collecting rainwater. Our wall's been doing, made out of wood, of course, for the last 2 years. But it was so happy when we could remove the planks and see it was actually coming from outside rather than from inside. So everything happens at the very same time. So now that we're finally going to have our plumbing fixed, we've also we also put this plastic over a part of our of our house and over a window, because it's to secure this area, this wounded area of the house, of the wall, against the rain and snow that is coming now. So everything is happening at the same time, one fix at a time, yeah. And now everything happens at the same time. But that really had me jump with joy, actually. Seeing that problem, that mold, and then asking someone who's been there before, how do I go about doing this? And then realize I can actually do this. I can actually help this building with my own hands, and it's not difficult. I know how I can do it. I know I can do it by myself, and with my fiance, we can do it together. And since it comes from outdoors, it's something that is not too difficult to fix. And just that feeling, because I've always wanted to move house, because I want to move back to England, as I talked about before. I always felt this beautiful house, this beautiful building that we are privileged to, I wanted to say be a part of, but to live in and to breathe the same air as the wood does. And because it's a building that so many people have appreciated in the past, I really wanted to be able to appreciate it as well, but always dreaming of going someplace else, where would be home for me, to feel like I've actually got the ability and the capacity to in some way help this beautiful building to survive longer and to surpass more time and to have even more people being able to appreciate it, it really does a lot for me. And I'm just so grateful being able to do that. And so Bemba's grandfather came over to have us, test driving, just helping me in my lessons, in my learning. And when we saw this instead, we said, okay, let's, postpone that for a little bit and let's dig in and try to fix this problem. And then it turned out that or actually just an hour later, we could still go driving because then we had a plan of how to fix it because it was an easy fix. So it's going to take time and we have to wait till spring for it to dry and such, but it's still an easy fix and we know how to plan it, like the busy bees that I talked about, how we know how we're going to do it. And then when I went driving, he said that now your driving is really, there's been an improvement that I can really tell. And that was really, I feel so much more calm. I feel so much calm driving. And actually that was due to me trusting myself and that of just seeing the problem needing to be fixed and then realizing that I know how to fix this. I understand the picture. That helped me so much also in my driving because then I could be calm in just being me. It was kind of, I had this, foundation to be stood up on, helping, in order knowing that I helped the building's foundation, I helped my own, so to speak, maybe. Oh, Packet Cries, hi. Fabrod, you're talking about an erection. Was it you that got the energy reading about that, regarding that before? Oh, I'm fine, Packet Cries. I am feverish, but I'm fine. It's just gonna be a very chill and beautiful stream today. We're gonna do that meditation and then just have coffee together, or tea, or whatever our preference. I'm just happy being here. You believe it might be me? Yeah. I thought I remembered it. How's it been for you? Have you thought about what we said? Because I really feel, just like when I said before with the busy bees, because it feels like there's still a lot going on, but it still feels like you got some sort of control over it, or some sort of plan, also in this area. Although sometimes you get into this, what I'm reading now, do tell me if I may not, but I get this feeling that sometimes you go into this because it's difficult when it comes to instinct and when it comes to this sort of behavior that we talked about before, and the need for to masturbate, like we talked about. And I understand that you got this threshold where you go over and you don't really know how to handle things, because I think so many of us can relate to that. And then still you sort of found your way of knowing how to back up on yourself and see it from a wider perspective, and then going back into your plan of how to just love yourself, really. I just get this feeling with you, Fabric. I really see these busy bees and still the plan of it all, and I think it's so beautiful. Oh, Husky Legs, hi. Solvika, hi. Are you back for your second reading? Yeah? I'm just gonna hang on. Oh. Um. Wait, what? Are we talking about erections now? Yeah. it makes it hard to concentrate when having an erection. I can understand that, and I think it's also due to nature. It's just the way it is, right? It's our instinct, and it should be fast hand focus, right? For the body, because it's about surviving. It's about survival of us, of course. So I think it's so beautiful that you still within yourself, even though, because it feels like it's different layers, right? And do tell me if I may not read. Actually, I'm gonna ask you first. Do you want, because I feel there is more information for you, Fabrop, today. Do you feel like it's something that I can channel for you? Would that be okay? Guys, we talk about everything. Anything that we experience is simply human. And erections and masturbation and sex and all of it is part of it, of us being human. And you know me, I talk about anything because why should something that we all experience, or at least many of us experience in a very similar way, why should we feel like we have to keep it to ourselves when it can help to actually talk about it with people? I know it's a touchy subject, especially when it comes to religion and such. And this is not in your reading now, Farah. I just wanted to talk about this in general. Because I know that it's really difficult, but the thing is also with this, with sex and the survival of us as a species and us as our way of a species, you know, about our DNA and who we are and the survival of what we carry is really something that is hardwired for us to have a focus on, to keep a focus on in our life, because it's the most important thing in being human. If you look at it from a strictly evolutionary or biologically, or what I should say, perspective, so that we feel it hard and difficult to concentrate when our body goes into the mind or into the aspect of well, to survive and to make sure that there are others coming after us, to sex is so natural, and I think it's so important. And I know that it's a touchy subject, like I said, especially with religion. And I've had friends long before I started with this company who were deep into religious belief and belief systems, and got into the age, or up in the age, where it started to be very difficult to handle for them, in that they couldn't do anything to help themselves through this. You know, they couldn't masturbate or they couldn't think about sex because all of that was not in the ways of their religion. And what I said to a dear friend of mine who got this problem and who had this problem real, you know, it was really difficult for him. He asked me for help in how he ever should find a way to go through this. And what I said to him was that, can't you talk to someone that experienced the same thing, you know, to someone older than you that gone through this? And for him that was such an awful, you know, thought. You can't talk to elder people or to, you know, someone we should be respectful towards about sex. Is impossible. And I felt that was so sad. So no guys, I do apologize, but when you come to me and when we're here, I talk about everything and anything, because everything is part of us, and I think it's so important for us to talk about it. And also, of course, it's important to respect one's religion. So if you feel like I am, you know, that I'm stomping your feet, or that this is really not okay if I stomp on your toes, or if you feel this is wrong, talk to me. We're just humans, all of us. Or at least I am, you know? I'm gonna read chat now. Oh, Goatee, hi. Okay. So, Fabrab, I'm gonna channel for you. I'm gonna see, because I felt there was something. I'm really going back into the busy bees, meaning that you've come such a long way in yourself, and I can feel this, you actually now. Oh, and we talk about this angel who came through and how we place this aura around you, right? That we awoke your own aura to make you feel safe and secure, and that what you experience is simply natural. And I go into that memory, and it's so beautiful. And I see your frustration, I see your, you know, what is going on. I got all of this, but at the same time I'm still here doing the same things I did before. But I do feel there's a shift in your conscience, or there's a shift in, it feels like you believe in yourself today, or that you are more calm in yourself, and that you do find, oh, I see this flame I often talk about, you know, to concentrate on. I believe I talked to you about the feather, maybe, you know, to concentrate on something while sipping your tea, I remember. Or reading a book, or, you know, but to concentrate your mind on something, like this little flame, and then you really found yourself, your own way to the path of being calm in what you experience. And I think it's so beautiful. So what you should do, just go back into that and believe yourself, trust yourself. Because I do see the difference. I see how you really started both to question yourself. Sorry, I'm gonna change music. Hang on, guys. You have started to question yourself, but that is also something that is so important, because you question yourself now with respect and with love towards yourself. I'll come back to you, Husky. Dreams with people you never met is such a beautiful experience. I come back to you. But really, Fabra, for you, this is simply an affirmation and confirmation, because I see that you really started to see your way. And just go back into that flame. You know, just imagine that. Or grass straw, you know, blowing in the wind. Or that feather soaring in the sky. Just into that meditative state, which is simply a state where you calm. And like I said to you before, it's the very same coming through. So yet again, meet everything that is you. It's okay, and then feel okay regarding this direction. What should I do? What path should I take now? What makes me feel good? And if that is to climax, okay. But give yourself the time to reflect. It might sound weird, but really, in all this frustration, because you are so used to your sexuality in this way, and you're so used to the confusion in your sexuality, in your sexual being, it's almost like it's become in all the buzzy bees, once again, in all the buzzies, you know, the noises, the thoughts, the thinking, the frustration, the confusion. It's almost like you found yourself a calm area in that, a calm space for you to actually reflect over yourself. And it's beautiful. It just feels like you are giving yourself a space to reflect. And if your way to find this, it just happens that it come via the sexual, I shouldn't say exploration, but the sexual activity, or by the physical reaction of you getting an erection. It feels like that, if you let yourself, really draws you into this calm consciousness, sorry, I'm so feverish today, the consciousness for you to reflect over yourself. And who is to say you shouldn't? I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful opportunity that you've got. And I think, if because there's been so much focus on this in your life, because you felt such a struggle with this, with the constant desire for sex, or not actually just sex, just this desire to masturbate, or to let yourself loose in a sexual way, to come, really. I think if you use that, if you find this flame or this meditative state where you can focus on one thing in all of this, I think it's a beautiful way for you to also open up the door to do this at different points, at different times. And yes, of course, that could mean that you associate the flame, or the feather, or the leaf, or what it is, that the grass straw, whatever it is that you see, that you focus on. When you do this while being in an erect state, of course, you could then associate that feeling with erection. And of course, that would mean that if you go into it doing something else, that might follow as a reaction. But it feels like you already know that. You already know this problem, because this is what happens. You get erections. I still feel like this is a way for you to really greet yourself. And I do think that this, in due time, will not be a problem in that way. So whatever happens, just go with it and find your flame. I'm calling it a flame. That one thing that you can focus on. And let yourself have an erection then, but focus on that, on the flame, and see what it tells you, what you feel. How should I go about this? And one day, maybe it won't be to masturbate. Maybe you find something else. I'm not saying it's wrong to masturbate, and of course, other days that will be the suggestion, that will be what you need to do. But maybe it can also open up for other things, like I talked to you about before. So truly, it's the very same things as I said before, but with love, and as before also. But I really see this working for you. And I'm sorry if you don't resonate. All I give is with love. But I really believe in this. I do. Sip tea and masturbate. Sorry, I need to say what salt taker. What do you mean? Um, Masturbate streaming for millions? No. I want to know what you mean, salt taker. Because no, I don't think it's okay to. I think this is something that you do in your privacy. Yeah, I believe in that. Or do you mean that you feel it's wrong of me to talk about it? Or I really want to have this discussion. But Fabrab, do you understand what I mean? So I really feel like just finding that flame. Um, and I know it sounds sexual, but the thing is, for me, the flame is a way for me to find the meditative states. And that's why I call it the flame, because it's simply, for me, it is a flame that I see when I go into it. And it's not sexual for me, but I do understand if it sounds like I'm looking for something else. But truly, I mean just, the lit candle flame. For me, that's a way of finding calms. So just believe in yourself. So, Tika, I want to know what your question is, if you're still here, of course. Do you feel it's wrong for me to talk about this, or are your suggestion? What is your? What do you mean? If you're still here, I can check actually. I wouldn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. It's just I talk about everything. It seems like they're not still here. Okay. So I got a question, I think was if it's really okay to be talking about this on stream. And oh, I see. I'm not sure what he said, and I'm not sure if I should accept it or not. But they talk about how he's married and sipping tea and masturbate about streaming for millions. Is that okay? Is the question. Or should I stick to regular porn? Is his question. It's just streaming really means a lot to me and it gets me excited. So is the question if you should um, masturbate while streaming? Because I really do not think that's a good idea. No, that's something I am strictly against. Actually, just the way it is. There are, of course, other platforms that maybe you can do that if you feel, but I feel like this is something that is for each and every one of us differently, of course. But on streaming platforms like Twitch or YouTube or Mixer, or I am strictly against performing sex because you do not know who's watching. But that's just me, really. But talking about it, I think it's important that we do. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the question was, but this is how I stand anyway. Maybe he went to sleep because it's 4 a.m. Yeah, I understand. Husky, you don't understand. What do you don't understand, Husky? Tell me. I think it's something that is different for each and every one of us. And just what Saul said. How do you mean? Does this feel okay though, Fabra? Because what I wanted to tell you is I think you're on. I really think you found that calm in all the noise. And believe in yourself. I believe in you, and what you experience is human. And I want to use the word normal because it is. But what is normal? In this case, it's just to be human. And also, I think it's beautiful that you're sharing because so many people can relate and not maybe feel like they can talk about. Like I said before. No worries, really. So, Husky Legs, you had a question for me before, I think. Was it that you wanted a reading? Because then, if you want a reading, we'll do that. And then after that, oh, sure. It was you asking for one, wasn't it? I think so. Bempus is creating this beautiful queuing system. We couldn't find out how the queuing system works on Twitch. So he's creating his brand new, his very own for us from scratch. So. Yes, and queues for Twitch if you look online. Yeah, we couldn't figure out how it works, but I also think that Bempus find it really. I think he really enjoys doing it himself, and it looks really good. So I'm looking forward to it. for using a doll instead of a real woman for pleasure? It depends on why we do it, I think. And I think it's also a very individual question. But they exist for a reason, right? But I think I'm actually starting to think about astral projection now and what I usually say. I know it might sound weird why I make that connection, but I think that, yeah, I really wanted to say the very same thing that I usually say when I get questions about astral projection, about using dolls for sexual pleasuring. Actually, I want to say the same thing, that it all depends on why we do it, right? And I think the most important thing, no matter what it is we do, I think it's important to let yourself take all of you with. Meaning that you don't do it in order to try to hide away or shy away from yourself. You don't do it in order to try to not be you, or to hide a part of you someplace else, or let a part of you stay whilst another part go, or going to this activity or the astral projection or whatever it might be. Whatever you do in all that you do, and of course we look at this at different from this in different perspectives, and this is just how I feel. But what I really and truly believe in, that whatever we do, I think it's so important that we take all of us with. Really. So if we feel this is something that I do the whole of me, and I can take the whole of me with, then that is a way for us to greet ourselves, maybe. But if we do it in order to try to shy away from ourselves, or to shy away from our problems, yes, sometimes for some people that is a mechanism in the process of meeting ourselves. But generally speaking, I think then it's important to just be still, just stand still, stop what you're doing, look at yourself. And I don't mean that in a judgy way, judgmental way. I mean that in, am I here? Can I be here right now? Because you deserve to be there each step of the way in your life. Because whatever we do, all we do, if we see it from the societal point of view, is using our time. So what should we use our time on? No matter how the time works, no matter if the time doesn't exist, it's how we measure life, right? What we actually do, what we're actually doing. And because we got this time now, this small amount or this large amount, this beautiful life, let us do. I think we deserve to be there, all of us, in ourselves, doing who we are. And sometimes that is to shy away, yes. Sometimes that is a really important part. And no, I'm not saying people who use dolls or toys for sexual pleasures are seeking to not meet themselves. That's not what I'm saying. But like with everything else, for some people it is a way to get away. And for more people, maybe that means a time to start to reflect on what we're actually doing. Not because of for someone else's purpose, not because of what someone else might think. Definitely if we're harming someone else or ourselves, yes. But mostly for ourselves. We will always have ourselves, no matter how lonely we are. don't we deserve the respect that after taking us all the way here, where we are here in our lives right now, don't we deserve the respect and the love for then also be greeted and to be part of what we do when we do it? We've been so good to ourselves, taking us no matter what we've gone through, no matter what we've done before, to just bring us to this point in our life right now. And we've done all with love for ourselves because it's in our instincts. And we're alive. Let's be alive and let's feel alive. We deserve it. And as long as our mind and our hearts go the same direction, and sometimes we feel like we don't, that they go separate directions, okay. Actually, that gives us an even wider perspective, like I talked about before. If we can go all the distance that way, imagine how far we can go that way. You know that I talked about before. So really, no. Whatever we do, as long as we're not hurting ourselves voluntarily or someone else voluntarily, and as long as we stand for what we're doing, let's do it being us. That's what I believe. Does that make any sense? Or am I just babbling, you think? Oh, Thanksgiving cooking. Sorry, Husky. I'll come back to your reading another time then. Take care and sleep well. Maybe you're already gone to bed. Maybe you'll see this in a VOD. Sleep well. Oh, Pagagrass, you know a queuing system which most Tarot readers use. Oh, really? I want to look into that. Okay. Fabrop. If the urge is too grave, you don't have to be, you don't have to put those titles or those inclinations, is that a word, on what you're feeling. If you feel what you need right now is to masturbate, like I said, with your mind and your heart, just is your way, and it is completely natural. But I am gonna do the ponds, so maybe that will bring something up for you. Maybe. I'm just seeing because I feel like there might be something else for you, Fabra. No, just believe in yourself. But actually believe in yourself, because you focus so much on this. It's almost like you want the problem to solve your other problems, and that you don't want to see those problems because they are not anything compared to your problem of getting erections. It's like you hired it to this level. Now I'm being tough, but with love. You hired it to being higher up, so that is also like almost an excuse. Just bring it down to what it actually is, and it's just you. I would actually like to do a full reading with you one day, if I may. I would like to book you in for a full reading, if you would feel like it, because I think there's specific, maybe, things that we can find for you to actually see what is actually going on underneath. And maybe we can explore it together in how we can find a way to handle this situation. Maybe. so you can think about it. Mr. Otter, hi. I'm feverish today, but I'm happy. How are you doing? Yeah. You can see how you feel, Fabra, and if you would like to book a reading. You know, you can get a shorter one. You can stay and get these shorter ones, of course, free here on Twitch. You're always welcome here. But if you would like to sit down and actually see what we can find in this, you can book a shorter reading, just you and I, via donating, as you know, or you can send me an email to ask to book in for a full consultation, and we can see how we feel about it. Or you can just be here, of course. It's how you feel, but I feel like it might be worth exploring, sitting down and really explore this. And because it is sexual and about sexual energy, I usually charge a little more. But of course, we'll find something that works for you. Just think about what you would like. Mr. Otter, I actually did my very last driving lesson today before the test. And I am going to be in my office anyway, so I just thought, let's enjoy this together. Just some coffee, you know, or tea. You got a job a few weeks back, so you don't have been that much on Twitch as a consequence. I understand. Congratulations to to your new job and your newfound love, hobby within yourself. I'm getting through this. Oh, this was something that might be interesting. Beautiful. Oh, Ghosty, that was beautiful of you to say. You can think about it, Fabra, and you can send me an email, and we can find something out. Or you can actually reach me on Discord. I always forget. We have Discord now. Wow, Streamlabs heard me. You can send me a private chat there if you would like, and we'll see if we can find a time and space, place to book you in, to find you a consultation. We'll see what happens. So, just think about it, how it feels. I am thinking, guys, of doing the pond now. Welcome, Fabra. Go to your need guidance and loving yourself and not worrying about what others think. Any tips? Okay, so it's very individual, of course. I am gonna do this meditation now, and maybe you can find something in it. And then afterwards, I'll see if there is any time left for you to have a consultation or a reading, of course, to see if there's anything for you if you feel like it. But I am being told, I'm being strictly told to do the meditation now. If that feels, oh, sorry, I do apologize. If that feels okay with you guys. There might be tips that I think the most beautiful tips comes from within ourselves. And the way I work, I usually say this as well, that I can never say anything to you that you don't already know yourself. But it could be a confirmation, and it can be a way to see it from another perspective. Or to just see that there is someone who can see you. But the most beautiful, all the advice really comes from within ourselves. So when you come to someone like me, for example, or a friend or a family member, whoever it might be, a total stranger, whenever we feel that love, that gratitude, or that fulfillment of being seen, because we are reflections of one another, all that beautiful energy really is coming from within yourself. And isn't it beautiful that those energies can reflect upon each other? We carry all this love within ourselves, and we are all given the opportunity to really see that love to ourselves when we meet others who also carry all this insight. Isn't that beautiful? I think. The new yoga is way less stressing in the pace slightly higher than your previous one. Pretty happy about it. Beautiful. I'm so interested in hearing about this newfound hobby though of yours. All these new thoughts. Ah, I love it. But congratulations, really. So, I am thinking of doing the pond now. It's a very simple but effective, for many people, meditation that I've talked about many times before, and that we have also done many times before, or a couple of times at least. Today I really feel like doing so. I'm just gonna check Paga. If you are still here, you can just say a little hi in chat, post a little hi, and I just want to see if you're still here. Donations is up and running, yes. They work. Today though, OBS and my streaming software seems to be disconnected from Twitch, although I am still on Twitch and I'm still live, but notifications may be off. So yes, we get donations, but today I might not see them. I don't know, and I have no idea, and I apologize if I don't, but then I will definitely do next time, or in between. Join Discord is the easiest way to get a hold of me when we're not streaming, but donations work. Yes, they do. But thank you so much for your question and for your concern. I'm just gonna see. Paga, you are here. Okay. I was just cheating. Looking up who's here. Okay, so I feel I will start the meditation now. I'm just gonna. Okay. So it's a very simple meditation. And we do it together, don't worry. We might get some music, we may not. We'll see what happens. Okay. I am actually told not to explain beforehand this time. This is, however, something that I do with the angels. So you may, during the meditation, see or feel the energy of your angels around you. Maybe hear this beautiful singing of the angels, or maybe nothing at all. But we'll see what happens. But it's a beautiful meditation that you can do on your own whenever you feel like it. Just make sure to always listen to yourself. If you at any point feel like it's too much, just take a deep breath, clasp your hands together, exhale, open your eyes, and you're back to where you were. Okay? Okay. When you're ready, I want you to sit or stand or lay in a position in which you feel comfortable. Find your place. just simply breathe. You may close your eyes, or you may keep them half open, however you feel is right for you. I'm just gonna stop here for a brief moment and wait for you rejoining. Beautiful. Okay, don't worry. Take it in your time. Just relax and breathe. Now, I want you to picture a flame in front of you. A small flame coming from a lit candle. See the movement of the flame in there. You may also see perhaps something else moving in front of you. A soaring leaf, maybe a feather or a grass straw. Whatever the flame is to you, focus your attention on it and just breathe. Open yourself up to what you might hear, what you might experience, feel in the space of your flame. Just breathe. Beautiful. When you feel ready, I want you to take a deep breath, hold it, and when you exhale, I want you to imagine yourself being stood in a clearing in the woods. Exhale. Breathe in your clearing. How does it look? How does it feel? Where are you? In front of you, someplace in the distance, there is a body of water. I want you to slowly approach your body of water. Breathe slowly as you come closer to your pond. It may be part of a lake, it may be a pond, it may be a part of a waterfall, perhaps even a fish tank. Whatever you see before you, let there be water that can be still. When you've come up close to the water, sit or stand in front of it, looking down on the surface. Breathe in and out. Beautiful. Don't worry if you can't find your way towards the water. Do it in your time. It all has a purpose. Alright. Breathe in. Now you may see or hear an angel beside you. You may not see or hear anything at all, but know that they're here with you. That you are not alone, and that you can always feel safe in your clearing by your water. Breathe. Now observe the water as it starts to fill up with things floating on the surface, associations, feelings, objects, whatever that comes up for you, whatever floats there on the surface, let it be there. Trust that it is there for a reason. However horrendous, however easy, however joyful, however sad, however scary, however, whatever, let it be just what it is. Now, one at a time, an object, association, picture, feeling will come floating towards you. As it glows, it draws nearer. Look at it, observe it, greet it, meet it. Let's take the time to be with it for a moment. Observe all that it is, how it looks, how it feels, how it moves there on the surface of your water in your clearing. Meet it, greet it, and when you feel ready, you will take a deep inhale. Thank it, the object, the association, the feeling, for all the experience that it's given you. And when you exhale, let it go. Do that now. Beautiful. Meet it, greet it, thank it, and let it go. Do the same for each object that comes before you on the surface of your water in your clearing. However you may feel about it, meet it, greet it, thank it, and let it go. Slowly, at a pace that feels right for you. Do this with each object, association, picture, memory, feeling that comes before you. Meet it, greet it, thank it, and let it go. Beautiful. If at any point you feel it being too much or simply not for you, just clasp your hands together in an inhale, open your eyes in an exhale, and you're back to where you were before. Just let yourself take this time to meet, greet, thank, and let beautiful. Now, you may stay to do this for as long as you feel right for you. Should it be that you see your own reflection in your water, in your clearing, do the same. Meet it, the reflection, greet it, observe it yourself. Then exhale, inhale all the love and gratefulness that you keep for your soul to yourself. Feel the love in your chest, and when you're ready, simply exhale and let go of the heavy feeling of what you must do. Just let it go. This is a meditation that you may do in your own time, on your own accord, as often or as seldom, as long or as for a brief moment you feel right. I will let you breathe in here for a moment. Meet, breathe, thank, and let go. And listen to the beautiful singing of the angels, if you can hear it, knowing that you are safe here in your clearing by your water. Now, when you're ready, I want you to inhale, to hold, and when you exhale, I want you to feel all your beautiful roots going all the way down to Gaia and all the way up, connecting to all the universe and all that is. Let all this beautiful light shine through. And when you feel ready, clasp your hands together in an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly open your eyes and feel safe in being fully immersed in here and now. Do this in your own time. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for letting me share that. It's a beautiful meditation, a very simple one, but it is so beautiful. And all that you meet on the water, on the surface, in the water, is you. Everything is your reflection, and all that has led you here today. And whatever that might be, however horrendous, however scary, however I should not be seeing this, or however easy, or what am I doing, whatever it might be, however joyful, it's part of you. And each and every one of those objects, associations, feelings deserves to be seen, because you deserve to be seen. It's as easy as that. It's a really nice one, isn't it? I really love this meditation. And sometimes you can really hear the singing of the angels. It's so beautiful. How are you feeling? I'm asked to ask you how you experienced this meditation. It was one that I channeled in one of the first streams I did. Or not the very first, but, and still we haven't had that many streams yet, but it was one of the first. I think it was the second meditation I channeled, and I just think it's so beautiful. And like I said, it's something that you can do on your own, in your own time, whenever you feel it right. Just if you feel like there might be something that is difficult for you, or that is an emotional struggle, make sure that you're not alone when you do it, or that you have someone that you can contact afterwards, or if you feel like you have to leave the meditation, do so. Always listen to yourself. And you can join us here in this community. I hope that it can bring you some happiness. But I really love this meditation. It's a dear one of mine. Sorry, I'm just sitting here sipping my coffee. The music is nice, yeah. We are looking to try to find other music as well, but it's a little bit difficult what we can use or not. So this is from the YouTube library for content creators, free music, and it's good. But I found some on Spotify that I use for my clients when they are here, so to speak, when I do especially healing here in the office. And it's just, there is some beautiful music out there. And we talked about on Discord, I've opened up this channel, our drawing board, I think it's called, where I'm actually thinking of having us in the community create things together. And in this also music, if we can go out and record the sound of nature, and maybe with that, put that next to, or with Channel's healing song, or I think it could be so beautiful. You felt that sense of meaningfulness overflow to you, that you mattered and you felt welcome and a part of this life. Oh, beautiful. You are. It is your life. I'm so happy that it could bring you something. But all that you meet, every emotion, every feeling, it's just you. And like I said, it's so beautiful that you're carrying all this love within yourself. And that it's simply reflecting back when you meet other people, or when you do something like this. When you talk to me, I'm simply working as a mirror for all that you already have there inside of you. Isn't it beautiful? I know it might sound a little bit wishy-washy, or like cliche, people are saying sometimes, but there's a reason why people say it so much. There's a reason why it becomes cliche, because really, it's just this, right? Like I said before, I had a client who said to me, I don't understand what you've done to me. I just feel, is this it? And I don't feel uneasy in it, with it. And I said, well, that's just life. It is just it. And then you decide what to put in it. And yes, I know that sometimes we feel, and sometimes it is, that situations happens that we can't control, and that external forces force us to be put in situation that we couldn't, like I said, control. But what we can, or we are still a part of it, and maybe we can't control our own reactions, but we are our reactions. And if we can meet them and see that whatever they are, there's a reason for them being there, and every single one of them is actually there in order to save you, to save us, and to have us feel good. Because it's from what we experience the way to survive. So, of course, it takes time to learn new ways if we feel we have to. Because we as humans, we get used to things. I thought about this so much. So, of course, it takes time. But it also can happen right now. Meaning that we can decide right now that we're actually feeling okay, that everything is actually good. That we can decide, and then right now, and then it takes time, of course, to have us recognize this in something that we're familiar with, because then we have to meet it, right? Then we have to get to know that feeling of being content or happy, or trusting life. And I just feel like I want to talk about this also. People who see spirituality as something different from logic, because I believe everything is everything. Logic, spirituality, rationality, all of it is the same, because it's simply what we experience. And if we believe in this great universe, and however vast it may be, and if we can meet other individuals, as in angels or energies, or if they're part of our own imagination or our own survival instinct, or if they're external beings from other universes, whatever it might be, if we believe there's a reason we be put in this body, in this life, right now. And if we believe in this vast, beautiful universe, shouldn't we respect what we've been given? And I'm talking about this with people who hope to leave themselves in order to travel out in the universe and believe they have a higher mission someplace else. Of course, there's a reason why they feel like that. And maybe they have. Of course they could. But I feel if we believe in this grand, beautiful universe and that everything happens for a reason, let us respect the reason. And let's have fun. No matter if there's a reason for everything, or that is something that we create, or something in the middle, it's just our lives. It's just our life. It's our time. And let's enjoy it. And let's give ourselves the opportunity to understand that we are not alone. That we are unique and beautiful and all of this, because we are also so similar to each other. And I said this 1,000 times, how we are experiencing things differently, and how situation can differ so much in the perspective of a third eye, or a third one eye, I want to say, or a third perspective. Our emotional struggle, our emotional journey, and our feelings and thoughts, desires and memories, and our feeling of being human and want to fit in, or want to be alone, or whatever it might be, all of this is so similar, simply as a reaction to different things, different situations but same feelings. And if we can understand this, it is true for what I've seen in my profession and in just being a human, a fellow human. It's what I experienced to be true. And maybe one day I realize something else. But as of now, if this is how it is, beautiful, right? I'm gonna read chat. You do not sound cliché. We often refrain from sharing our feelings because we're afraid others will judge us. She's so cliché, and that is not healthy for us. We should be able to share how we feel freely without outside judgment. Yes. But you know what I believe outside judgment to be? If you do. I believe outside judgment, we are reflections, right? We're really judging ourselves. We are trying so hard to fit in order to survive. I said this to a client very recently, that I think is very beautiful, that why should we try to chase someone else when we already are us? Why should we try to chase being someone else when we've got us? And if we then want to meet other people, isn't it beautiful that they get to meet you then? And if you feel a struggle of no, I can't, these people don't understand me, I feel I'm going into an energy here now. I've got a person who feels like an outsider, and I think there's several of us, I think many of us can resonate with this, of however much I try, I always end up not being understood. And also this person knows within themselves that the person really not understanding them is themselves. So not understanding yourself is then part of you, right? So explore that. Why do I feel like I don't understand myself? Stand up. Stand still. Find your flame. And that flame will lead you to the bubbles of joy. There's many references here. I love how we have managed to become a community in that way, that we have now got our own references. I think it is beautiful. Oh, Mr. Otter, take care. All the love to you. Truly. Great talking to you too. And thank you. I will be better. Hopefully I get a driving license next time. We'll see. Take care. Jonathan Fatface, hi. Bye, Mr. Otter. You're from Sweden too, but you only speak English. Oh, I see. How are you doing? Welcome here. How are you doing? Would you like to see if there's something for you, Jonathan? I am in Linköping. We are we are a business in Linköping who work with intuitive counseling, and you can find us if you search for us. You can find us on Boka Direkt, or just search for us. Search for V Intuition, VHE Intuition, and you'll find us. I got an office here in Linköping, and then I also work on a distance. Or how to say? On a distance. That's not how you would put it, is it? But I work via phone or via video call or such. But it is a business, and you'll find us in Linköping. Of course, no worry. You can join our Discord. But since you are you're always welcome. Since you are in Sweden, I would advise you to go to bokadirekt.se. if you go down to the information tab, I just say if you can see it, you will find a link that is called In Sweden, book consultation distance or in person. Can you see it? It's a little bit of a Swedish flag or going on. You can click that. I can also, I got no keyboard still, so I will use my on-screen keyboard and I can write you the link. I'm just gonna see if I got it on here. Okay, hang on. It will make sound. I'm gonna find the on-screen keyboard. Yes, there it is. And then I'm gonna write the link. There it is. Hang on. And then I'm just gonna find us on there as well. Here it is. Okay. I'm posting this link in chat now. You may have already found it, but no, what did I do? There you go. That's the link, Jonathan. Since you are in Sweden, and are you? How should I put this? Do you have a credit card? Is it called that is registered in Sweden? This is the way you can go. And if you're not registered in Sweden, you can send me an email instead. But if you're registered in Sweden for how your payments, so to speak, then check out that link. It's the easiest one. And if you feel like, because this should be for everyone, so if you feel like you want to find a way for us to meet, not over these prices, so to speak, just send me an email. It's the easiest, or Discord, or call me. Actually, you can as well. But check it out. You have international credit card, okay? Yeah, it should work. It should work. It's just that you have to be registered in Sweden for it to work, but we'll figure it out. I'm just thinking how it works. Yeah, it should be fine. We'll see, right? I think your bank have to be in Sweden. I think that's the thing. And if not, I take international clients as well, of course. It would just be over a different platform. I saw. It works in other shops. Okay. And it should be fine. It should be fine. Sunny Cuba, are you feeling bad lately? Would you like me to see if there is anything for you? Sunny Cuba, are you still here? Yes, you are. You should be. It says. It helps back and forth. I never know how many people are here or not. But if you're here, I can see if there's anything for you today. Would you like that, Sunny Cuba? If not, I just hope that being here will bring you some joy. So you deserve it. And you do. So I'm just checking. Because I might have some information for you, Sunny Cuba, and we can take a look at what is going on. Hi. Okay. Let me see if there's anything. Okay. I want to talk about the feeling when we lose someone. And that losing someone have us feel like we lost even more. When we lose someone or something, they're not being very specific now, I'm trading very carefully, but when we feel like we lost something in our life, when we have lost something in our life, the grief of losing that makes us feel like we've lost other things as well. And we go into this loop of feeling like we've lost our way and therefore we lost ourselves. So when you lose your joy of one thing, it then starts to feel like you lose the joy of many things. You know what I mean? Lonewood, hi. I am feverish today, but I am grateful being here. And I finished my last lesson of practicing driving before my test. So I'm hopeful but feverish, so we will see what happens. How are you doing? So this depression, Sunny Cuba. Oh, thank you. This depression is something that has been with you for a long while, but that really took grip recently. I think dealing with depression is something that many of us can resonate with, and I think it's so beautiful being able to meet other people that, once again, like I say, that experience same but different, you know? Like I always talk about how we experience the feeling, the emotions, only for different reasons. Oh, I'm happy seeing you here, Landwood. So, Sunny Cuba, depression is nothing new. It's nothing new for you. It's nothing new in your family. It's been there. And it's almost like it's been a friend. It sounds awful to say that, but it's been there and it had its place. But now it really has taken grip. It feels like. And it's not that everything has come to a halt. It feels like everything is lost. You know the feeling? I'm just gonna see how I should trade this. They're talking about swimming, and I want to understand because it doesn't feel like it's directly connected to you as a hobby. I want to see what they're talking about, and I think it's about this feeling of not being able to swim when waves crash over you. Of course, it could be also about really swimming, because you've always tried to hold on. No, you haven't tried to hold on, but you've always managed to be not on top of, but you've been there during hobbies, during studies, during study was a tough that was an interesting topic, but hobbies or what you've done, you managed to be there, and now you feel like you've always almost had your hands on the edge, you know, hanging down, but you had your grip, or you had your hands at least up there, and now it feels like everything's just slipping and you have nowhere to land on your feet. So you've always been hanging, if that makes any sense to you. You've always been hanging, but now there's rain, and it's becoming more and more difficult to really hold on. And I'm not saying, I'm not talking about, all this feeling of not wanting to hold on or anything. I'm just talking about this emotion of simply spiraling down into nothingness. If this is anything you resonate with, because it truly is what comes through for me. I can feel this hanging on for so long during so many episodes of vanish is what coming through, of things vanishing or things happening. And now the rain is really pouring down, and it becomes more and more difficult to just hold on, and you're just falling down the rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland, but coming out into a nothingness, a numbness. And you always had that numbness, but now it's just, you just don't have any words quite to describe it anymore, because you always try to keep on track with not necessarily when you're feeling things, what you feel, but you're still keeping track on how you felt at a particular point, trying to analyze, trying to understand. But now all of that is simply, you're simply too exhausted to try to keep that ongoing track on what you once felt, because you no longer know what it was you felt. But you still got your memories intact, you still got you can still see the bigger picture, but now it's just more difficult collecting new memories because it feels blank. So it's not necessarily that you're not, you don't feel anger, you don't feel hurt really about what is happening or about other people. You're not disappointed in others, you're not disappointed in the world, you're simply blank. Does that make any sense to you? Because you still got that urge, you're here now, you still got that urge trying to make sense, but you're not angry, you're not frustrated in that way, you're simply numb. And I think I talked about this a lot before, and this is controversial, but depression, I think, and stay with me here, I think it's really beautiful. I think it's beautiful because if we are depressed, we are giving ourselves time to want something else. Depression, and this is not clinical, I have no, I know studies behind me, I know it's not, it's simply what I feel, alright? What I experience and what comes through for me is that depression stems for wanting something to be different. That we could change something in our lives. And this actually stems from curiosity. And curiosity is the most beautiful, most important emotion or sense of emotion we can have. So when we actually have got the time to be depressed, that means we've actually got the time to give ourselves feeling of wanting change. And when we want change for ourselves, that means really we're standing up to ourselves, for ourselves. No matter how far distant that seems and how far away that seems to be, It's actually what we're doing, what I imagine as, what I feel as be doing. We're actually standing up for ourselves because we want change. That means we've actually got the time to meet ourselves and to listen to ourselves and to even widen our perspective, because we've got the space, we got the place, we got the time within ourselves to do this. So in depression, we're grieving what we want to be changed. And when we're grieving change or hope for change, there's hope in that. And there's action in that. And it will take time, of course. And I'm not saying that that emotion of being on the cliff's end is not real. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's a fun emotion to experience numbness. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the frustration in that and the depression in the whole situation. It will take time, but if we can start to see that it's actually our way of getting to know ourselves, I think it's a truly beautiful experience once we meet it. FX Trifle, I'm an intuitive counselor, a medium, healer, and a fellow human. So it depends what you mean. But I'm doing a reading right now, so I just want to see Saniki, but I know this is tough love, and I know it's an awful thing to say, but I also think it's so, so, so beautiful. So how can I, as a third person, be saying to you that what you are experiencing as being awful and something that you do not deserve to be experiencing? How can I say it's beautiful? Because it is in this situation, it truly is a way for you to say that you don't deserve it, that you deserve more. And that means you're standing up for yourself. And that means you got a curiosity and a hope for the future. And if you cannot see it now, maybe it'll come a day. And I just think it's so, so beautiful that we're giving the opportunity to meet ourselves in this way. It is awful that it has to come to it, but I think it's so beautiful. What a journey that it is and what it means. So I feel your message today is not a very individual specific one. It's more a general understanding for what is really going on. And that however dark and however alone and right out lost you are, because it's not just that you feel it, you are it because you feel it. I believe there's a way out, and being here, I hope it serves for some joy, and I believe in you. And with all that experience that you have of always having had this hanging over you, I'm not saying that it will go away forever, but imagine what a wide perspective of a scale you actually got to see the world with. How far of that direction you wanted, meaning how far you can go that direction. I'm coming back to you, FX Trifle. I just want to hear with Senecuba. Does this make any sense to you? Does this feel okay? All I'm sending you is love, and it will take time. And you are so welcome to be here during that process if you feel like it. You can join us on Discord. You're so welcome in the community. And what you experience, it's not to put on your shoulders, because I know you're sick of hearing this. But it can also serve as a reflection towards others. And if we can find this and do this together, we may walk with easier footsteps one day. It's what I believe. Senecuba, are you here still? There is a healing I would like. A very, very, very easy, very brief. I would just like to send you a healing crystal. A little small healing bubble with one of your angels, if I may, if you're still here. Thank you. Okay, I'm just gonna collect. Oh, I'm doing it in the shape of a ladder today. A ladder is important to you. Has to do with school. I think, oh, you got such wondrous hope. Okay, one thing for you. Don't feel it to be a responsibility that you have to feel like you have to help others once you come through what you come through. Don't feel a responsibility being the teacher. Don't feel the responsibility to being the student, because sometimes we are simply blank. And then we are both teacher and student at the same time, and we are just us. Don't ever feel the responsibility of having to go into the business of school. It's just coming to me. Do it when you are joyful in yourself, not because you feel the responsibility of doing so, because that very same knowledge that you can give or provide, or that you can do in that area, they're not being too specific about what that area might be, but it has to do about schooling others, teaching others. You can use from your heart. You don't have to go by from the head. Oh, it sounds weird, but it really means what comes from for you externally, what people are saying to you, what you hear people are saying, even if they don't say it out loud, because you've felt it for such a long period of time. That feeling of having to be the miracle worker, having to be the healer, the teacher, the substitute. Why do you feel like a substitute? All of that I collect to the head. And what I mean to say is that you can go by your heart. And I know that's partly why you feel so stuck in your depression, because that is responsibility, following your heart. But then that's not your heart. I believe in you, and I know you believe in you. And that feeling you've had of no one understand what you really want to do with your life, that is the love for yourself. Listen to it, respect it, and know that you are bringing joy to others when you bring joy to yourself. If you're not hurting yourself or others, if you go where your heart and the mind will follow, of course. So I'm gonna build this ladder for you with a little dove. Oh, I got this beautiful female energy coming through. She almost feels German to me. I'm not too sure. They're not being very non-specific today. But I got this beautiful lady coming through. A very hard-working, laboring, is that a word? Lady with cookies. It smells so good. Anyway, I'm just gonna send all this beautiful love up the ladder. And I'm just gonna send it to you, Zenikuba. A little joyful, healing, crystal energy bubble. And I'm gonna send it with your angel to place on your heads and in your hearts. I'm just gonna send it. It's okay to hesitate. It's okay to not believe. Believe in you is all you have to do. And that's not easy, I know. But then believing in you is partly feeling that you don't believe in yourself and acknowledging that feeling, because that's also you, right? There, it reached you. Beautiful. Just inhale that energy, and I'm sending you all the light and love. Truly. And thank you for being here. And you're always free to be part of our community. All the love and light. FX Trifle, are you still here? Because you had some interesting questions for me. If I missed any notifications, by the way, guys, today OBS is not working with Twitch. They won't have none of it. So I'm sorry if I miss anything. Yeah, you're here. Okay. Is it possible to see the future, you wonder? If I can see the future and influence it. It's an interesting question. I'm not a fortune teller. I know in the Times it says fortune teller. It's the closest thing we could find to what we do. I am psychic, so I do see things that will occur, yes. But does that mean I can see the future? It depends on how we look at it. And I have no idea how it works. I just know how I experience it. So yes, I can see one way in the future, right? I can see what might happen. Usually that does happen, yes. But I can see one timeline. We can talk about this. I could talk about this for hours and hours, about all these different dimensions and how we might look at it and how every dimension might happen at the same time. And me being a telepath, having a telepathic communication, I've really seen how we can travel through to different places at the same time, and then different places at different times, and all of it above and around and everywhere. But how I see it, yes, I can see things that will happen, but then it's always up to the person to, I think I'm in the middle. I believe there's a reason for everything, and I believe that there is knowledge in what will happen, yes, but I also think it's our choice. And whether that is our choice, real choice or not, I think it's important for us to feel at least that it's our choice. And so I usually don't tell about the future. It happens, of course, but I usually don't tell about the future. I usually talk about here and now and viewing perspectives or viewing the situation that is to unfold here and now from different perspectives. But yes, I've seen what will happen in the future, and yes, it has helped me many times. It has helped me through a lot. I believe that we are all connected to I believe we stem from the same source of energy, and therefore I believe we're all connected. And I also believe that everything that happens to us is stored in one library, like with the Acacia Library. And my guides work as librarians in this. And in this library, we can also see what will happen in the future, what has happened in different lives, and all of the above, and even more. But for me, it's so important to also live here and now, and to ourselves experience our journey, you know? Even if we might know what is to happen, I think it's so important that we still get to experience the journey and our choices and our emotion and living through it. I believe. But yes, it has saved me. I get the question, do I think it's possible to change it? I don't think it's possible to change it. I believe it's possible to change our approach of it, if even that. But it helped me many times to know what will happen. It hurts, as many psychics, as you know, experience. Why would I be giving this information when what can I do with it? What can I do about it? Why me? Sometimes we feel. But also sometimes it really does help. And like I've said, and I really, really mean it, of course, I have no idea how it will be without it, because I have it and because it's part of me. Or if I had more, it would be different. But I don't know about that, because I only experience what I experience. But knowing when things will happen or how things will turn out, because for me, and I know many can resonate, I've been a child that was not given very much information in the physical world, if you can say that. You know what I mean? People didn't tell me much. And so, yes, it really helped with beautiful news and more difficult news to handle when they were not news. Yeah. You got a specific question. You got 2 paths. You can study at college. Yes. Trucks. Fixing trucks is coming through. I just can't help it. Don't be afraid to be Gracie. Oh, you don't have to be so proper. It's okay. You know, is what I feel. And you know, you need to have fun. And you know that there's one way you can have fun. And that is the closest to a choice. I believe we should have fun. You don't need to be so proper. I just saw all these tractors and all this grease and working with cars, you know? I just want you to experience more than what your parents are putting in front of you is coming through, actually. And I think that's your answer. I want you to have fun, but also you do have this tendency of it's interesting because you got these 2 sides. Just as you said, you got 2 choices. It feels like you got these 2 sides, or we all got them. But they're very present, and also several more sides as well. But they're really present in, you know, being the proper lads, or you know, or being proper and being socialized, and being secure. And you got this other wild side about danger and all of that. It's like those words are colliding instead of being one. So maybe you can explore both at the same time. But the truck's really coming through for me. The truck's really coming through, and all these dangerous things also, you know, all these adventures and rock climbing and all of that. And then I see you sitting, you know, being proper at a restaurant with a tuxedo. No, but you know, this feeling, it's a very masculine feeling coming through, and it's a very masculine feeling. They're being very non-specific in this, but there's a masculine feeling coming through, and I can't see you. They're not showing me that clearly, so you can be female or male. It doesn't really matter, or anything in between. But for me, it's a very masculine feeling coming through in this being proper, uptucked, and this being just throw yourself off a cliff laughing, with a parachute, of course, because it's always, of course, nothing will happen. Um, but these two worlds are colliding, it feels like. And it feels like you got a relative who is not as close to your family as maybe you would like. Someone who is more down to earth. Maybe they're not showing me much at all right now. I apologize for this, but I'm seeing thoughts coming through about your father. And it might not resonate for you. This is how it comes for me, because they're not showing, for a reason, they're not showing me you right now. They're trading very carefully and simply giving me a glimpse of emotions and situations that might resonate with me for then you to reflect upon. I think they want. So they're talking about this father, big figure or uncle, but father being more down to earth, and in that way being more. They're talking about being a disappointment when there's no real reason for it, but it's like an outsider sort of situation, but not exactly, but still that feeling of it, and that dream of just being in the middle, and then you having these two very different opinions upon yourself, just like you're saying with the choice of study or not study. And I just feel this belonging to just be grounded and not throwing yourself off a cliff with a parachute, and not being sat all tucked up at a restaurant, but simply be there in the mud is what's coming through. Oh, thank you so much for following. Now we know the notifications does not work today. I apologize. Thank you for following on White Shithole. And welcome to the community. I hope that you will enjoy your time here. Ew to the name. Yeah, okay. There you have your proper sides. This was exactly what you needed. Extra life. You know where I'm coming from? I just feel this. Just go back to where you started. And not started in what you did as when you were young, because you're still young. Not in that way, but more in who you are. So they're being very unspecific, like I said, today with me in your case. But for me, what is coming through, and you may associate it to what you feel is right, but I see this sitting proper at a restaurant, I see this skydiving, and then in the middle, I just see this dirt road. Mm. It could be that your energies are entwined My guides are not telling me what is going on right now. They simply want me to continue because there's a reason for it. So it's just how I see. I see these masks of wanting to be either one and not really wanting to be either. Does that make sense? Madridhold, oh sorry, I couldn't pronounce your name. I have a fiance, so I'm not single. But thank you for the question. Does it make any sense to you, Extra Life? You know what came through? I got a telepathic twin who is much more, he's not as prude as I am. And when you said that about my fiance, he just came through, or the personality of him just said, I do. I apologize. I love my fiance. He means a lot to me, and he is, well, it's our company, it's our life, and we're just happy being able to be here, really. But I am open to talk about anything, as you who have been here before might know. Because everything that we feel, being jealousy or confusion or whatever it might be, all is human. And I believe that if we do it in a way that we respect ourselves and we respect others, we respect humanity in talking about what we experience. Does that make any sense? It's how I feel. But yeah, Extra Life, I just see this, you know, also this gaming and this lazy part, because it's like you've put your different aspects of your personality into different categories. That was not a word, I apologize, but you know what I mean. And then you want to try to understand what cap you should take on when you're already wearing a hood. Does that make any sense? It just feels there's so. I liked what I said earlier, and I think that is what really is coming through. You want to choose either, but you don't want to be. You want to be neither. Do I get massages? I do healing. I do. Are you still here, Extra Life? Because I want to tell you that all these different parts of you that you are experiencing and that you are judging yourself in, it also gives you a very wide perspective that you should cherish. And I know that you might be closed off on the outside in some aspects, but I know that you are open. But be open to yourself. So follow your heart back into nature is really what's calling to me. I just see these tractors. They're not disappearing from me. But they're not showing me much this time. I apologize. I'm simply taking what comes through. And all is with love. Fun, meaning where you can feel that you have fun even in the struggle. Meaning that you cherish and joy. really. And no, we can never find the perfect path. We can never find what we feel. Sometimes we might feel, oh, the heart is, beating so fast, we found our path. And then we start working with it, like me with my profession. And sometimes it feels like, oh, I'm so grateful. And sometimes it feels like I'm not doing anything, and I'm not I'm not going forwards. It's because we get used to things, and that's just the way it's gonna be. But when choosing, choose you. And if you don't know what you are, then you are everything. So explore. Not hurting you, not hurting others. Have fun, enjoy, and see it for what it is. And what it is your experience. Go for it. Hi, thank you for your kind comments. Same to you. Light and love, as we say. Yo, Jonathan, it's the second Jonathan today. Which candle is best for science? The red one. All is science, right? Science is. Or are you talking about seances? I just wanted to say the red one. Maybe it's because it's close to Christmas. Who knows? Seance. Trust yourself in making that decision. It's all differs for everyone. When we work with energy, I believe what is so beautiful, and I talked about this so many times before, but we are a channel, yes, but we are also chosen channel, so we have the ability to be part of that interaction. We are that part of that interaction. When I meet a client, it's not just a meeting or a greeting between the two of us, or the meet and greeting between them and whichever energy is coming through. It's a meeting and an interaction between all of that, all of us. And I think it's important not to lose yourself, not to lose your part in it, because you are part of it. And that meaning you are a fellow human, so that you can even give another perspective. You can give several perspectives using from what your guides say, to what the energies say, to what the person inside you reflects upon, and what you feel as a human being. The same when we choose how to do our sciences, how to make contact, it all differs. And what is so beautiful, and why people usually say, why do you say different things when you say the same things? So why does some people work with names? How can that be so difficult for others? Why does some mediums work um, with how the person before they passed, if we talk about that sort of science, seance, sorry, I said science now as well. Why does some have, why can't they say, that is usually the question actually, why don't they say their name? Because obviously if it were to be true, the easiest thing would be to say their name. Why can't you tell me what they're called? Why do you tell me memories instead? Why do you tell me what they smell like rather than who they are? Or who they are to me, how we are related, or all of this. Why does it differ so much? And I think the answer to that is because we are human and we have our memories. We have our associations to different things. So a name might mean something to me that may guide myself in my senses into meeting what I remember instead of what is coming through, perhaps. So what comes through differently because we are different people, and we experience the information differently. It's as easy as that. So, what is best for seances? What smell? What flower? What crystals? What candle? What works for you? And every interaction is unique. I believe meeting an energy is the same as meeting someone who's alive, in that it is a relationship between the two of us in the moment. And if we don't get along, then we'll have to find common grounds. And some people like some things, others like others. It's the same with, there is no rules in channeling in that way. That's just the rules of your own. You know how you feel, what works for you, and what works in this particular instance, what feels right to you. Because we all got our gut feeling, our intuition. So listen to that. And if you can't decide, maybe there's a reason you should have all of them or none. I will read chat now. So it all depends. And find your own way. What I like personally, I use different things for different energies. And smells I not normally use, actually. I use more other types of elements like fire, water, earth, or crystals, stones, or simply opening it up. So it differs. But I hope you'll find your way. And also, don't feel like you have to follow a straight path. Just be you. That's all there is. It's just interactions. And it has to be on everyone's terms. Just like with every other interaction. Moscow man, you're a very complicated individual. Eat too much junk food and alcohol. Okay. So there's a reason that you eat junk food and alcohol, and there's a reason you feel you eat too much and drink too much, so then don't. What about myself? I eat too little and too much sugar. It's my burden, or how you say it. Me and my telepathic twin are very bad eaters, meaning that we eat way too little, and I, on my side, eat way too much sugar on that. So, yeah. I am feverish today, but I'm happy. Thank you for asking. How are you? Is it alright to eat earwax? I'm no doctor. I would think that maybe it could come with some complications, but I don't know. Do you want me to see your energy, Medra? See if there's anything for you today? Rattle, my guide Rattle is here though, which means I will trade carefully. Being skeptic is very important, and I think it is beautiful to be. And I am not trying to rattle anyone's experience of the world. I'm gonna change music, hang on. Skeptics, to talk to skeptics is about the best thing I know. And it's not because I want to change someone's mind. It's because I want to hear their views, you know? I'm not sure I believe in it myself. I simply experience it and it seems to be working. And if I can help others in this way, does it really matter what it is? But yes, I love to discuss it, and I would love to conduct a study. I had this skeptic say to me that we are that we could really hurt people with what we're doing. And he wanted to conduct a control study to see if it can actually be proven to be working. And if he could do that, it would be amazing. I would love that, to try, to do this study, because it's difficult for us simply being, a family business, newly started in an area that doesn't really exist. And to be able then, for him who was a psychiatrist, to help us get this done, also for his own sake, and for us to meet in this, I would love that to get done. And if it would turn out that we're hurting people, of course I want to do something different. I do this because I might be an intuitive counselor, I might be a telepath, an empath, I might be a medium, but more than anything else, I'm simply a human being. And just like you and everyone else, I do what I feel makes me. I do everything in order to make me feel good. That's all we can do. And to make me feel good, for me to feel fulfillment, is to help other people. It's as easy as that. So if we turn out that this is not helpful, then I will not be doing it. But as of now, as what we've experienced so far, it really seems to do help people. And it makes me so happy. And I'm sorry if you can tell I'm tired. I got a fever. So I'm really starting to feel it now. So I apologize. But it really makes me treasure my life. It's just my way of feeling good. And it helped me. Mm. Can you download one of my readings? You can find all my readings on YouTube, in a YouTube library. You find it all. It's completely open. It's all, every stream we've done, all from when I felt insecure sometimes, and when someone did not resonate with what I said, and all the struggle in that, because we're simply human, and all the beautiful meditations, the healing songs, all of it is on YouTube. And it is transparent, it is open, it is our journey. And I am done trying to prove. I just want to be. And as long as people seem to enjoy me being, walking beside them, if just for a brief moment, that gives me joy. It might sound like I'm trying to, to impress, or I'm trying to tell myself, or trying to prove something, and I'm human. Of course I want to be liked as we are. That's a part of me. So that's why everything is transparent. You can find everything. And yes, it is in full stream length, so it might be difficult to find specific readings, and I will be working on this. But as of now, because of us dealing with extortion, this is how it is right now. But all is there, yeah. If you would like your own reading, you can always come join us here, open in chat like this. I do not think I will be doing, maybe I will be doing one more or half more, but my guides are telling me it's starting to be that time of the day when I rest, especially since I have a fever, running a fever. But you can join us here on Twitch, or you can donate a small amount of your preference, €1 and up, to get a private session, you and I, just you and I, via chat or video or non-video call, a short session, or you can book a full consultation with you and I. If you are national, if you're in Sweden, you can find all different sorts of consultations and healings. And if you are international, then I do consultations on distance, or how you say, on video or non-video call. And about the price, we are a business, and if you want to book a full consultation, it's simply a way, I guess, to support us. You get vaguely the same out of it, depending on, it will no matter if you donate a small amount or pay the full loads. It's simply what feels right to you. I have said this so many times before, and I started doing this for free, and I would love to be able to do it for free and let every consultation take whatever time it takes. But we are living in a society, and so this has become a company. This is a company, and it is my profession. And to be able to do this for a living, maybe one day, I'm just grateful. But what is important for me and why I bring this up is because I know when we are skeptical and mediums and telepathy work and all of this, usually money comes up because people feel that people are scamming others. And sometimes that happens, which is awful, truly awful. And it is a mountain that we had to climb, and we know this. I know what people might say about our profession out there. And it is a mountain to climb, but we believe in what we do, and we are feeling it being worthy every step of the way, or worth, I should say, every step of the way. So when it comes to pricing and when it comes to all this, Twitch is free. I may not always do readings, and it may not always be specific, and I'm simply following my guides. And sometimes we do more general things, which is also beautiful because then we can connect to one another in the community. But when it comes to private consultations, you and I, healing or consultation, medium or telepathy, all of that, and how long and on what platform and for how much, I just think it's important to take that one consultation at a time. So, whatever feels right for you and I in our situation. Just like my voice, thank you. I do meditations, and I've actually, on Tuesday afternoons, I started out before having sessions where I simply read out loud stories. I read my own poems and lyrics and short stories, but I run out. And because of the exhaustion, and because of me having clients, and because of things happening, I haven't had the time writing new ones. And I've said this again and again and again. And if you have any stories, short stories, poems, any crafts that you would like me, any work that you would like me to read out loud, I would love to. If you have provision for the work, I would love to read them out loud. Because I realize that some people enjoy my voice, and I love doing those streams as well. It has just been not as many because of the exhaustion lately. But we do that, yeah. And we also have crafting streams, so we do different things. I know ASMR, yes. And I have a healing guide where I use my healing voice. And I think that it is, I would love doing ASMR. I would. I haven't got the equipment to, but I would really enjoy going into it, yes. I've got this voice that I use during meditations that people really seem to enjoy. So I would love being able to do that. Now I haven't channeled my guides, it's even more powerful when I do. And people come to this channel for different reasons, and whichever reason, I'm just happy being able to be here and share the time with you. And join us on Discord. Feel free to join us on Discord and to join our community there. I've looked into reading books. I'm one of them people who wants to make sure that I do things right by everyone. that I follow every law, and that because there's a reason that the law is put in all of this. And we can have different opinions on that. But I am one of them who feels it's so important to do right. And um, I've looked into if I could find books or lyrics or drafts or that I could read, that I'm allowed to read out loud, because I love reading and I love writing as well. I've just not found time for it. But if you got any works that you would think would be that you would like to share via me having me read it, I would love to. Hmm. Maybe we could end this stream, because I'm feeling tired now, with me having once again read some of my work. Would you enjoy that? That is something we can do, right? I'm so confused with Twitch right now. It's so ups and downs if people are watching or not. And they're saying that no one's here, and then in chat I can see that you are here. So I'm confused. I see if I can find them. Hang on. I've got a Oh, do I have to search? It's been too long since I was there. It seems like. Hang on. I know you can hear lots of dragon noises. I had to think what my blog was called. Now, I read them once before, but I can definitely read them again. What would you like to hear? I've got poems, lyrics and drafts, scripts and play drafts, and short stories. And I got them in English or in Swedish, but I feel like reading in English now. What do you feel like? Short stories? Yeah, sure. I'll see what I've got. I've got one, it's written in 2018. Most of these are very dark, I just want to say. I can read you this one. I still wish you all joy, but this is a dark one. It's called One Letter Too Late, and it's written in July 2018. Okay. One letter too late. Sander, my dear friend, the notice of your death did not hit me lightly. I shall always keep it to my heart, the somber moments at your bedside, which life did not give me permission as to experience. As close as those joyful conversations in the garden we did have. Your words of encouragement will always be of the greatest importance in my remaining life, and I am for those and all very grateful. I do realize my grave error in not writing you this sooner, as you will have no means of responding to whichever regretful words my heart in this late hour finally has decided to let go of for the sake of permitted acknowledge. I do also realize the enmity of said words, especially as those who come might not do much but to harm the peace of your passing. However regretful, it would be even more so disrespectful to myself not to tell them. I am but a humble old man. Also I should earn some respect. I am writing this in that old book Innie gave me so many years ago. It seemed appropriate somehow to be filling the blank pages finally with the last straw of a dying man after everyone he once held dear already has gone. Shaky words of some resemblance on what once were. I never did tell you, but I always thought I would be first to go. After all this time following in your footstep, I really did think life would throw me a handkerchief and toss me off first. God knows I never could imagine outliving Innie. So when she passed, I thought myself to be at least the next in line. I don't know what I have done to be the very last of us. What mischief God forbade me to have me experience the passing of everyone I once held dear. I do hope something gives, that some way I've learned to love myself, as so also I get to live. Ah, I can practically hear your voice reprimand me for being so mellow, but you see, my friend, as you learn the reason for my correspondence, you will not stay as cheerful. The truth of the matter is that I do know why I'm being left behind. What mischief God could not tolerate the taste up in heaven, but could neither bear as to banish to hell. I never did sleep with Innie, you see. Consequently, the child she bore was not mine, and the abortion was not of a bastard to be, not of a regretful result of a love affair, but of a perfectly healthy love child, of a perfectly normal marriage. As to my knowledge, the child was yours, and I did not tell you. I could not bear telling you that the love of your life did not wish to have any children, did not wish to become a mother. So I lied. We both did. And we made up a love affair which never existed. Somehow the shame of that seems easier to live with than that of the truth. I lost 15 years of our friendship to a lie and a secret which was not mine to keep. I will never forget the day where you returned home from enlistment, how you came to our doorstep telling us how you somehow had found a way to forgive in the dark bliss of war, how you wished us happiness and forever joy come what may. Innie died holding my hand, the same way she did every night, the only ever intimate touch between us. Holding the hand which should have been yours, swallowing the tears she never should have had to swallow, backing back the words which should have braced your ears. I never did love her, and she never loved me. She was yours, Santa, and should always have been. She did not want any children, but she did love you deeply. It was by reading her diary some 20 years after her passing I came to learn about the early death of her mother and the supposedly genetic heart disease. Innie knew, had known all her life, how that life was going to be cut short, and could not bear having to put a child, any child, hers or her children's, through the grief of a mother's early passing and the pain of a compromised heart. You see, she did not want to have any children. She wished not to have to leave them behind. When I learned this, Innie was already long gone, and I had no means of contacting you. The harm had already been done. It is my greatest hope God will permit the two of you to reunite in heaven, where you have my warmest blessing, come what may. Sincerely, your friend. That was a short story, one letter too late. It's a dark one, and I have not read it in a while, as you probably could tell. But that was one of them. I always feel when I read stories, I feel like the human in me, because I always wanted to write by people, I feel like people are feeling it's my thoughts coming through, or how I perceive things, like normal marriage and such. And that hurts in me because I am trying to be as open as I possibly can, and I hope I am open because I feel open. But then when I write into character, I always get this feeling of, I'm not sure I should have shared this because maybe you will think something different of me, something I think we all can relate to. I'm gonna read chat now. Oh, thank you. I can read one more, maybe, perhaps, if you'd like. It's also dark, though, and it's very similar. Um, they are very dark, these. I think I will read. I'm just gonna see. I'm looking if I have any. Most of the light or the delightful poems, or how I should say, are in Swedish. Actually, I don't know why that is. I'm just trying to find. Um, all of them are so dark. I have to write new ones. But they're also, they're also parts of life. And we all experience this sometimes, right? I could read one more short story and one poem. Would you like that? Yes, by Christ, we did the pond. You can find it in the vault, I guess. It's easier. Now remember, these are dark. I can try to translate on the fly. I got one, a very short one, that I can end with. But I got the light ones are in Swedish. I wonder what that is. It's a shame. I'm just finding. I'm gonna see if I can find. Where is it? Where is it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? No, that was not it. I can recite this one though. Very short one. And this I know. Are you ready? There's a problem. A big problem. There's no such thing as problems. Problematic, right? I like that one. No, I can't find the other one. I have some, they're not just dark. I got one where we talk about you finding the joy, the pure joy, if you once can find yourself being buried with your hand in another hand. And in that, this is in Swedish, in that I then question at the end, is it necessary, truly, that the other hand is someone else's? I like that one. I'm just gonna say, okay, so I'm gonna read one short story and then one poem. I'm just gonna check the stream as well. Hi guys! The pond is a meditation that was channeled to me. So there, it's from my guides, and I trust them. No, I will read some poems instead. I'm sorry. I read some poems instead. I will read this one. It's also a sad one. This is written in 2015. It's called Fallen Nights. With a raging storm inside my heart and feet that stomps the rhythm, I walk down a path that has been lost and now forbidden. I hear a wolf cry at the moon as if to reach out the heights, as it caresses the cheek of a fallen night. I hear a wolf cry at the moon as darkness lays room, where Mother Earth care for her cocoon. Are you gonna stay out there? Are you gonna paint the wind with your fear? Are you gonna let me stay in here, accompanied by a lonesome tear? Whenever lonely, wherever gone, lost in them spaces I once called home, drifting slowly, falling fast, lost in them spaces, never came to last. I will read also this one. They're also sad. It's a shame. But it's also important. They're parts of my life from before I founded this company, before I found my path, or I was already on it. And it is important that they're there. So I will read you this one, and then I will actually read you, I feel like, a poem I wrote to my fiance after we just met. Because that one is joyful. So I will read you this one, and then the poem I wrote my fiance. But first I read this. It's from 2015 as well. It's called Wonder. It's in a valley where the day meets the night, where the light holds darkness tight, where you hide from wrong and right, you start to wonder. It's in an ocean on a wave reflecting sky, where your eyes start to cry, you bleed and you hide, you start to wonder. It is over mountains heights where the sun lay down in a bed of joy in the heat of fright. It's when you watch the moon take the stars in hand, when the earth start to shake, leaving what is land. You start to wonder on endless fates and endless shades. Okay, I will read you the poem I wrote my fiancé when we met. We were 17 years old. Where is it though? Hang on. 2011 it should be. Where's it gone? Have I lost it? I can't have lost it. Oh, I love that one. Hang on, guys. I know what it's called, so why can't I find it? Hang on. Oh, of course. It has its own thing. Here it is. I found it. So this one is Corgis Love Orgies. Oh, thank you so much for following. Welcome. I hope that you will enjoy your stay. This is the last one I'm going to share today. I read all of these before. This one I wrote when my fiance and I met in 2011. We've met. It was a couple of months later I wrote this one. It's called January because we met in January. And we were 17 years old. And it says January, from one almond to her popcorn love. It was a pet names. I was an almond and he was popcorn. Yeah. Okay. January. January has never been so sweet. The 8th letter, one treasure hard to meet. Now in winter, before the snow, I bend down ground, picking up the bow. How can it be with wonder feel? Who took the shot through tears with steel? When did rocks start to shine, and floods of love capture the soul of mine? One smile and arrows fly wide, no need to worry what inside they hide. With water, fire, wind and earth, arms and eyes stop every search. 10 months later, and I still know, with all my love, I thank the bow. So, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for this beautiful stream today. I'm just gonna check if there is anyone. There might be a very short message to someone. But I want to thank you for the stream today. It's been a little bit of a difficult one. I'm gonna have to check because my streaming software is not connected to my Twitch account. Even though we are live, I'm not getting any notifications and it says that something's missing. So I will check on that. If I've missed any of you following, any of you donating, any of you being a part of this wonderful community, then I do apologize. And join us on Discord, and I will definitely find you there if you feel like it. And I will make sure that this works for next time we stream. We'll see when next time will be. We never know, so Discord is your best bet to find out and to reach me always. Because I may not be streaming because of the exhaustion, but you can find me on Discord, and you are always free. I take consultations, so you're always free to book your consultation if you feel like it. We have a channel, a text channel for open consultations on Discord as well, a little bit like this here on Twitch, if you feel like it, and that's also a way for all of us to interact and to be there for one another. Now it is live. I was gonna say, I mean, it is on the internet, it is online, and I hope to keep it a safe and warm community and a safe space for us. But it is online, it is open, so if you would ever feel like you want to talk to me, just you and I, get in touch and we'll find a way. Thank you so much for today. I have no idea if anyone is left. It feels like you're still here. Twitch is not telling me anything, so I have no idea. But thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for being part of this community, of this journey, and all the love. I wonder how I will do all the live things now. I don't think I can. I usually do credits and thanking people who've been here and love and all at the end, but my streaming software is not playing ball today, so maybe I will not be able to do so. Once again, thank you so much to all of you who are new here, for all of you who've been here a while, for all of you who've been from the start, whoever you are, whichever reason you're here. I appreciate being able to walk beside you for even the briefest moment. And take care, and all the love to you. And I'll fix this till next time. Take care, and I'll see you on Discord. Take care now. Hang on. Yeah. All the love. Bye for now. Bye.